Well, hello again. This is Hiro. Today is kind of on my transition day. This is my new computer. It's not that new because I got it over a month ago, but it took a while for me to get it going again. It's changed my system. The videos that I was making was off of another Apple, but that one was almost 10 years old. And as far as I was able to get that going, and since I was repeating the same process for 10 years, I got fairly good at it. Well, every time you get something new, then there's always this learning curve. So what may happen in the next few videos that I will be making with the new system, there might be glitches. Up till now, I've been using this. This was my workhorse. I was using was this tape. And I got started in this format over 10 years ago. And I have hundreds of hours of video that I shot over the course of the decade or so. Okay, so those of you that have been following me, some of my older ones, and especially if you're using headphones, the voice only comes out on one side. Well, that's because of the old format. There was a question from one of my followers how I am shooting these. Well, to my left, the small camera, that was one of my first ones that I was able to afford. The minimum requirement was the 3cc-D. And at the time, that was sort of the standard. And then I was able to get this shoulder mount camera, which is the same 3cc-D. Okay, now I've shot a lot of footage using few years after that, I was able to afford this one, FX7, which has been my workhorse for probably like 6-7 years, maybe. And we have moved now up to high def. So that you can see that this is a high def. With the high def, improved camera, and improved mic, now I get less complaints about not having left of the right ear when you're using headphones. So anyway, this has been what I've been using up to about now, and now I'm going to be switching. I know you guys like my little stories, so I'll tell you a story about what happened with this camera. Okay, at our church, we have what's called the Obon Festival, and they had the taiko group playing that day. Okay, well, I know I couldn't take my tripod with me because there's too many people in the way. So I take this, and it's on my shoulder. Take a deep breath, make sure you don't breathe too hard, this and that. Okay, well, built into the camera. But I read somewhere that if you use a shotgun mic, you could get better sound. So I installed that on this, and I'm taking picture of the taiko performance. Oh, taiko is Japanese for drums. Anyway, here I am, and at a certain point, I needed to cough, but I'm suppressing it because I don't want any camera movement. So I got some great footages. I thought it was really excellent. Well, what happens is when you do an external mic, there is a switch. So I put this shotgun mic on this camera, and I'm doing a perfect job on shooting the taiko performance. But because I forgot to turn on the external mic, no sound. That is one of the most absurd things that you could ever have, is a musical performance without a sound. Okay, so every time there's some new thing, I have this little learning. I have a number of mics, and when I got to the FX7, I was still having problem not getting the stereo sound, or both ears. Well, it turns out that even in the mic system, it comes out with different types. If you look carefully where it plugs in, you could tell which one will do both sides versus one. So I had to go out and get newer matched mic sets. So, you know, there's been a lot of learning curves, and I think I had it down fairly well, but now it's time for my new adventure with my new computer and my new camera sets. Okay, well, currently this is my backup camera. The one that I'm shooting with is about half the size and has a little bit better chip, they call it, so supposedly better. But I was able to acquire this one here used, so I have it as a backup. This one here is one of my newer ones, and this one is capable of going to 4K. And actually I have a number of these smaller ones that in case I have to go area where I might end up damaging the camera. This is one of my other travel cameras. It's older, but it's actually better. It takes these cables so that you can have a handle. And this one here is my current travel camera. It's a little bit bigger, a little bit heavier, but what's missing in the other is this viewfinder. So if you pull this out, you could see out of this, versus the others did not have that. And what's the importance of this? Well, in the sunlight, you can't really see the screen. So if you push this back in and open this, with this setup, it's okay as long as you're inside or in a shady spot, but once the sun hits this, you can't see the screen. That's why I had to go with the minimum of having a viewfinder that will be seen through here. You put your eye here and then you can see what you're doing. But you can see that it does get heavier because it's bigger, but it's not too bad. And once again, I have to have the tripod handle because when you put your hand through here, it's really awkward angle that you end up with. So anyway, okay, what do we got here? Well, just in case I need to shoot underwater. So both of them are, one is a still camera and the other one is a video camera. And this long stick will help me get underwater without getting wet. And how often am I going to use it? I'm not sure, but I'll be ready just in case. Okay, this is something that I acquired this year. It's the drone. Well, I had hesitated for a number of years since they became popular because, you know, I'm really not good with these coordination things. So I was very leery of ever starting with it for bonsai. But I think as I get better at this, it should add a little bit to it. I won't be using a lot because it's really not conducive to telling how things are done. But occasionally, if you want to see what my nursery looks like from up above, this will work. So anyway, this is my new adventure for this year, is how to do some decent drone shots. Okay, are you ready for my amusing stories? Okay, so I got this unit 2-3 weeks ago, and of course Dale came by and he helped me get things set up. He did some trial shoot to have some tree work done, so I have these contracted people to come and trim some of my tall trees down. Anyway, before they would come, I thought I should have the before shot. So I took this and tried to take pictures of the tall trees before they came. That was fine, right? Well, I knew my abilities weren't good, so I make sure that I took off from a big open space, go up and shoot from a distance the tall trees. And I moved it to another open spot and did the same thing. Okay, now it's time to land. Well, I could land this manually, but there is a button that if you push it, it's supposed to land automatically. What I didn't realize that this thing is so smart that it lands where you took off from, which is fine, except that there is a big tall tree in the way. Well, needless to say, the drone got stuck up in the tree. Took some interesting pictures. There was a hummingbird that came by to make fun of me, I guess, or the drone. And anyway, sat up there for 2 days. Luckily, my tree people came and I asked them to take it down. And they thought it was humorous, and they said it happens a lot. Well, I'm kind of camera shy or drone shy now, so I'm not sure how much more I'm going to do, but occasionally I want to take this up into open spots and show you what my nursery looked from above. But I will probably not do a whole lot unless I get really good at it. Anyway, this is my transition period. I'm going from the tape videos to these with the memory cards, and addition a few new equipment. Hopefully I'll have a little more interesting things for you to watch. One of the first things I'll be doing this year, I'll be shooting a series of pine videos. I'll go from the black pine, red pine, ponderosa, Scotch, and Mughal. So I'll see you again real soon. Well, real soon if I get everything perfected. So anyway, stay safe everybody. I'll see you again.